Our thanks as much to small sponsors as the big sponsors. The small sponsors being then to give a contribution for the image of the city in Romania. The big sponsors being part of their image developments or their collaboration to big shows in Romania. Beware that the textile community here of Focșani is a large contributor to the show, and I thank all these companies around my activity. The show of the first edition last year, as you know, was generated by an idea from the Rotary Club, where we had the visit of a Canadian artist originally from the music school of Focșani, Mr. Chigolia, and he's coming this year to be at the show, and this is how started the whole adventure. Now we want to make the second edition. That means if there is a number 2, there will be a number 3 and 4 and 5, and we hope to make this bigger. We have some projects on long terms, which I cannot talk now here because they are just ideas and projects, but we would like to give a new dimension to the show, which would involve the fashion business in Focșani and involve as well the other industry in Focșani, the wine business. But this is a long-term plan here to give a new aura to the city here. Now, the ONG had to enlarge because last year when we started the business, we were limited numbers, and we have enlarged the Estica members to 3 new members. Aline, that was here already active last year, but taking in charge of the activity of internet. Andre, working at Artifacts in my company, taking in charge here all the local sponsors and as well the management of all the volunteers. And this year we should have about 100 volunteers. And Ionut Hungarian, excuse me for the pronunciation here, my Romanian is still poor, will join us and responsible for sponsoring as well here. I would like to thank as well our partner in Bucharest, Mr. Christian Bogaro-Duhamon, who has been helping us, to collect the sponsors. So the adventure continues with the support of the people of last year, which have more or less renewed their contribution and sometimes increased. We have as well this year another 15, it's not fixed up, it could be a little bit more, but at least 15 new sponsors here. So that means, the show is taking a bigger dimension, and we want to give more audience to the show here, nationally and even internationally here. One of the specific things this year, which is going to be different from last year, is that we are going to start the event on Thursday with the Challenge Blues Festival, which is a selection of the bands that will represent Romania at the European level for the contest of next year that takes place in March in Norway. Our duties as FBF is to finance the trip of the winner and their lodging facilities during the contest in Norway. So we have already a certain amount of band which are going to be selected here in this Athenaeum here. This event will take place on Thursday, the day before the festival starts. The jury will be composed of professional people. There will be, of course, Mr. Weinberger, who is, let's say, the blues icon in this country here. There will be myself, a little musician a long time ago, but still with a certain expertise in music. There will be Earl Thomas, which we bring from last year, has to be part of the show, not really as a stage artist, but he will be active during the show. And there will be one of the coaches specialized in the blues artists. So this will be taking place on Thursday, the day before, and we will be campaigning specifically for this show, which is obviously associated to the festival itself, but dedicated to the selection of the band representing Romania next year. And this is the first time it takes place in Romania. Of course, the other members, There is here Andrea, okay, who is in charge of the finance of the ONG, as well as some sponsors, and Katalin, who is the production manager of the festival, taking care of all the artists, the contract, and all the logistic part of the show here. I would like here to thank as well the city and the region of Foshan that bring us their partnership. They are not on the sponsoring side, they are just giving us the technical support we need with all the facilities for the security, for the the organization itself for this show. Now the purpose of this year is to mobilize the city of Foshan, to have as many people from Foshan to the audience and from the villages around. And this year we have extended our communication plan to the big cities around Francia. That means Bouzo, Bacao, Galat, Brela, medium cities like Romniku-Sarat and Ajud, okay, to try to bring some people here. The link will be done by bus services, which we hope to have sufficient candidates to come here and participate to the show here. The transport will be insured by a local transport bus company here, and that will be free for the people coming from the cities here. We are working on this program in coordination with local pubs in these cities, which are known to organize live band evenings, not necessarily in the blues, but in the rock use, so they are familiar with all these kind of shows here. I would say this year the show takes a new dimension. A new dimension because we have more sponsors, a new dimension because that means we are going to enlarge the VIP zone from 700 seats last year to close to 1,000 seats. That has brought some technical problems for the stage management, which managed here to enlarge the surface here. And we are going to be backed up here with 2 large screens this year on each side of the stage, which are HD screen here. And there will be a large screen on the back side of the technical room for other people which are not on the VIP zone here. So there will be a lot of loose chairs and banks here, up to some respect of, yes, to reach as many people as we can to be seated here, not to avoid any traffic regulations, of course, on the place, to make sure that we respect all the criteria of security as well. As I said here, the budget this year has been increased here with 15 new sponsors. So we are allowed today to bring to the show here more international artists. The choice has been done this year to bring mostly European artists, and there will be mostly American and Canadian artists. That will start on Thursday, and we have more or less 4 bands or 4 performers every evening here, with a rotation time of 45 minutes and a rehearsal time of 10-15 minutes here. So this is how we plan this organization this year. Last year we had the food court that was a bit put aside at the request of the city here, and we put it on the small parking place near the House of Culture. This hasn't been a very good success for them here because that was too far from the place. So in view of the decision we took to give to our show a different touch, we have decided to have only food trucks this year here, and we will have food trucks, at least 4 or 5 I've confirmed, maybe 6 here, and these food trucks will be located on the main street here nearby the show, so the access will be much easier to the people. Again here, the will we have is to bring new things to the people here in Foshan that do not have the opportunity to travel in the country or abroad, and the food trucks will be bringing food from Austria, from Italy, the pizza, but here we have a lot of pizza places in Foshan, so it's not a good example, but a lot of things which are new for the people. We didn't want to get the traditional Mitch systems, you know, with the smoke pollution here. This is prohibited by the city anyway, now in future, at least in the center. Because the people have got the opportunity to test all this during the food festival, during the July months, you know, during the October months as well. So we wanted to bring something different from the other shows taking place in the city. And this is implemented for the first time this year in the city here.